Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Purpose Fridays with Sherry Watson and the Positive Action Coalition. Derek Watson here, co-founder of the Power of Purpose. And again, we'd like to welcome you to our Purpose Happy Hour. So much to talk about today with our Positive Action Coalition, all the work we're doing across the country with our nonprofits, all united as a coalition, bringing back communities with our rebuilding and recovery efforts, especially those affected by the recent natural disasters, with our nonprofits on the ground helping with this coalition. So without further ado, we're going to bring on the one, the only, Sherry Watson to kick us off today.
Hey, welcome guys. I'm so glad so many of you are with us. I see some new folks. So just sharing what this is about. This is our purpose hour, our happy hour with a purpose. I can't even say it right. I call everything purpose. You know, you guys, those of you that are with us right now, I've been watching, everything I'm watching right now is about the power of purpose, about finding your purpose. You know, I watched a very, very powerful documentary the other day talking about the alchemist and the book talking about our purpose, how we're born with purpose. We have gifts, you guys. And right now, our country needs us more than ever. And to take those gifts and let go of fear and just step forward. That's what's making the difference with our mastermind students around the country who are doing veterans housing, who are doing renewable energy, who are bringing so much support to foster kids aging out, young kids that have lost hope that are in the juvenile justice system, you know, bringing solutions to old problems. That's what this is about. So the power of purpose for the last 2 months, we've been building up now with the Positive Action Coalition. We have nonprofits that are doing projects all over the world that are located in so many different states. We came together in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and said, how can we make a bigger impact in what happened in Houston, and what happened in Florida, South Carolina, Puerto Rico, Las Vegas, the California fires. This is more of a time for all of you to step up and be part of the solution. So that coalition that came together, we now are moving forward with advocacy, with looking at resources, having troops on the ground. And it started with our Houston group. And so many of you new folks, I need to share the history. When we had our mastermind, a group of people that came together, smart business entrepreneurs that are making a huge difference, that learned the power of the nonprofit corporation, learned about setting up their business in the nonprofit corporation to make more impact, to leave that legacy. The fulfillment that you have is greater than any $1 million contract you get in your for-profit. When you're lifting people up, when you're seeing people that have come from nursing homes, that have come from being homeless, and you watch them leading and watch them connecting with the leaders about redirecting funding to make sense with it. It's our money. Nothing is so fulfilling. So when we were together at our mastermind, and we were going to do whatever it took to bring these resources to kids with disabilities, you know, all the different areas our folks are involved in. A few weeks later, our Houston group, which was half of our mastermind group, was in the middle of complete disaster, complete trauma, complete helplessness. And we were reaching out, texting as Harvey was, it was devastating them. And they were on roofs, and they were waiting to be rescued by helicopters. And everything they had been destroyed. we at the Power Purpose and our Purpose Pioneers, our nonprofits all around the country, we came together in a big way. And we started looking at the funding that was being brought forward, the $15 billion by Congress, the J.J. Watts, the celebrity fundraisers. And yet we had troops on the ground, nonprofits living in Houston, leading the way. There was no support. There was no help. And for them to come to us on Purpose Fridays and talk about the FEMA vouchers weren't being accepted. So people were moving back into their flooded homes full of mold with respiratory disease, filling up now the hospitals, and had lost hope. And so part of our coalition was to ask questions. Where's the money? When's it going to get to folks in the community, folks on the ground that see the devastation, see the difference? So that's what Positive Action Platform is all about. Skip and Derek have spent a year building this, and it's like many of our students saying, we didn't know this would be what we'd launch it for. Our students in Houston that have nonprofits, Richard, and that they have Jack's Place, providing education and training for parents and for kids that have type 1 diabetes. And he said never did he think about going and finding families can't even get to pharmacies because their cars were flooded. The kids don't have the medicine they need because the pharmacies are flooded. So his nonprofit took the next step to fulfill the needs in the community. Camilla, who has a nonprofit bringing economic development, working with entrepreneurs, working with the business community, finding out that businesses have been stopped. People had 3 months where they weren't being paid because even corporations had put a hold on things. The entrepreneurs that were working for themselves, they had now had no income coming in. So it's basics like food. You know, how are they going to feed their children? And so that's where the coalition came forward. And we said, together, we're going to raise funds. We're going to build this, bring up this Positive Action Platform where you guys can donate now. You guys, $1, $5, anything will make a difference. We have nonprofits on the ground in Houston. We have nonprofits on the ground in Florida and Key West, helping single moms. We have nonprofits in Puerto Rico. You guys, all over this country, the funding that you guys give will go directly to the nonprofits in the different areas. And then on Purpose Friday, you're going to be getting updates from them. You're going to see the kind of momentum, the kind of success that your money is really impacting where you want it to go. You know, when we had a mayor from Texas come on, and we had a pastor who leads a powerful nonprofit in Houston, they delivered $6 million in the first few days to families. They've been around for 23 years. Bethel's Place, they're amazing. And when he came on, 4 weeks after this devastation, and it's still, we don't hear much. The media does it for the first little bit, and then they're on to something else. We don't hear about the 30,000 cars that are in a lot somewhere that have been flooded. That's 30,000 families that have lost their transportation. We don't hear about the 80,000 homes that don't have flood insurance. That's 80,000 families that have lost everything. They had big rubble in their front yard with their life, their pictures, their baby cribs, their furniture, and they had to sit there and watch cranes come and just take it all and put it in dump trucks. And we have devastation going on. And then we hear the banks are saying, okay, we'll give you a 3-month reprieve on your mortgages, payments, great. And then they come on and tell us, well, what they didn't tell us is that on the 4th month, you have to pay all 3 months plus interest plus your 4th month. And so we started saying, where's Congress? Why aren't we mandating some kind of action from the banks? Why don't we mandate the banks be accountable to being part of the solution? So as pastor talked to us, and the mayor and a lawyer had done a GoFundMe, they'd raised $70-some million for the devastation and the rebuilding efforts going on. And he had met with them the day before he came on Purpose Friday. And they said, oh, we gave out 10% of it already to some other nonprofits. Nobody knew about it. Nobody was, some of the strong was Bethel's Place that had been there forever. They weren't notified. They weren't given the opportunity. And then they went on to say, and we're not going to distribute the other 90% of the funds raised for the next 2 years. How many people, how many of you would want to donate to something that's not even being used for what you're donating? So because of my history, because of my expertise, my experience in the disability world, we built a coalition 25 years ago. We brought all the nonprofits together. We used the power of the people, the grassroots coalition, the strength in numbers, to start asking questions. Where's the money? How does it get to the people in need? How do we rebuild our own community instead of having from the top down come in? They don't know about our community. They don't know our needs. And we had a campaign logo that said, nothing about us without us. You have to include the people that are dealing with it as part of the solution. So I know that was a long intro, Derek, but you guys, that's how we came together and we brought Positive Action Platform. You're going to be updated videos. You're going to be able to go on there. It's going to give you the videos, the faces, the people that are making impacts all over this country, and you'll be updated. We have Mr. Skip Thomas with his nonprofit, Amplifying Truth. He has John Mark Huckabee, Governor Huckabee's son, on his board. So getting that momentum, taking our voices to the federal administration level and saying, we want the money to go to the people. That's what it takes, you guys. It's our money. Don't forget that. It's our tax dollars. We have a right to have our voices be heard. And it's not just about demanding and having our voices heard. It's about having a solution. We want to come in and say, where's the money? You can't hold that money for 2 years. You have to take that money out to all the nonprofits in the community. But then we have a solution. We know that we want to take that funding and grant it out to the people who are making the impact in the community. So Derek, it's been amazing this first month. You guys, this is ongoing. Every week, we're going to be highlighting different students, different mastermind students. We have our Purpose Summit coming up next week in Albuquerque, New Mexico, November 3rd to 5th. We're bringing folks from all over the country and from very diverse backgrounds, philanthropists, investors, nonprofit leaders, people who are coming because they've worked in corporate America for 20 years and they're finally saying, what's life about? You know, what's my legacy? I can go make someone else a multimillionaire. Why aren't I doing it for me and my community? Why aren't I really living my purpose? Your passion is what fuels that. So next week in Albuquerque, you bring in 100 people together to really spend 3 days together, building the coalition, coming together. Those that don't have nonprofits, we're going to lead them into building nonprofits. Those that have nonprofits, we have a diversified funding stream led by charitable giving of real estate. So you guys come and be a part of this. I think we're sold out for the live event, but we're going to live stream it. No more waiting. No more going, well, I heard about you guys 2 years ago. No more. It's time to step up and live your purpose that is your gift that you were born with, to go out and make a difference, help others, bring business solutions. It's not just about being that charity, that do good thing. It's bringing your business mind. A nonprofit is a corporation that allows many more funding streams than a for-profit. And the impact, we have one of our mastermind students who is really big on Amazon, does their business on Amazon, and they're building their manufacturing and another kind of a fulfillment center. They're building it under their nonprofit corporation, and they're going to provide jobs for veterans, for kids coming out of foster care, for people on through addiction. We're really doing a lot right now with the opioid crisis. Guys, step up, Derek. I can't say enough how strong I'm feeling. Never, ever has there been a time where you've got to get out of your way, let go of the fear, get that noise out of your head, and come and join and be a part of us, because we're on the move, and there's nothing that's going to stop us from bringing solutions. This country, we're 39th in education. Why? You know? So, Derek, together, man, this happy hour is going to be the most amazing thing with a purpose to bring us forward.
Oh, absolutely. And we're just so thrilled with our Positive Action Coalition, some of our top nonprofits in the country, all coming together to address all these challenges that we're facing in all areas. We talked initially about these recovery and rebuilding efforts, and now it's morphed into just to a national movement. There's so much on community revitalization and change, bringing about change and making a positive impact. And so you mentioned earlier, we'll be talking a lot about that at our Purpose Summit, our first annual. We're excited in Albuquerque. We're going to have a lot of amazing people there. And you mentioned the live stream as well. We'll be live streaming it out across the internet. So just thrilled about that. That's going to be amazing. That, I think, more so not just about all of us getting together, rubbing shoulders with people, not just from the nonprofit world, right, the philanthropic sector, but also business leaders, people from the investment world, really coming together to really springboard. We've had so much momentum with our mastermind and with our Positive Action Coalition, which has morphed out of the mastermind, and now coming to this summit is really, I think, is now becoming this launch pad for something very special, for something of just tremendous significance out there in the world.
Well, and Derek, it's something to ask you guys, to see what the nonprofit corporation can do for this country, and redirecting funding that's been just spent crazy and doesn't make any sense. If we were a business and led our business like the government, and we're the government, so we can't sit back and whine about it, we would be bankrupt. And so we have the most wisest entrepreneurs, business leaders that are coming forward leading nonprofits. Derek and I and Tracy, you guys, we invest in our education and keep things where we can bring it back to you. And one of the most amazing things we were a part of a few months ago was I always get it wrong, Strategic Alliance Global Philanthropy Summit. Yay. And Mr. Tom Matson led that. And Tom has taken businesses public. He's an amazing entrepreneur. And he's all about how to do good while making money. He teaches businesses how to align with nonprofits. And that's when they came to us and went, wow, you're teaching people how to set up nonprofits. We got to come together. And so as he shared his giving, he's donated stocks and shares and equity and in the businesses, right? And folks know about donating businesses and cars, and you're hearing a lot about donate your car and planes and trains and all that kind of stuff. What Tom didn't know and said that's brilliant was donating your real estate. the benefits to donors. You guys, we're going to go over that next week, our whole morning, with our fund manager, with our charitable giving and real estate facilitation team. We've set up a system with the call center and the whole bit now. And we have properties all over the country being donated. I think right now we have one that's at the finish line, 6 properties and 1 donation, with the gentleman that donated 6 properties at once. And that's going to give the nonprofit a 6-figure income. Cash will be donated. It will be wired into their account. Well, as Tom was going, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And we haven't done that. And so we went and attended his VIP mastermind. It was amazing. It was amazing in Scottsdale. And as we all sat and really dreamed and schemed together, just like we're going to do next week, and came up with solutions. How do we empower entrepreneurs? How do we give them the resources? When I led my last nonprofit, I actually became my own bank. We did a statewide bank for folks that with disabilities that couldn't even roll into a bank, let alone get a loan, right? We didn't give a grant where we hand out. We were able to be the bank that based it on character again, like the old days. When we did lower down the interest, we did longer amortizations to make it where they could access resources to go back to work, to get into employment. So as we sat with Frank and Tom, we launched with them, they launched an entrepreneurial nonprofit. And you guys, they're now doing a global summit with their nonprofit leading. So, it's such a phenomenal, and to be aligned with people like Frank and Tom that are taking the nonprofit to an international level to empower entrepreneurs in leading their businesses. So I see so many of our mastermind students on here, Derek. I keep getting that thinking wheel, darn it, I'm looking through the list. But I saw Linda. So great to see you, Linda. Linda is working with people in Florida. She started a nonprofit. And within 6 weeks of coming to us, and they're starting working, set up her nonprofit, and get that myth out of your head. Those of you that are thinking, oh, they're so complicated, they're so hard. We're getting a nonprofit set up within a few days. So now she's an official nonprofit corporation, got a house donated. And within, 3 months, maybe, Linda, she put over $100,000 in her bank account from that one facilitation. So the money is out there. You've got to step up and let go of that fear. Ken in Santa Fe, bringing in the eco villages, a whole new way of building and living and thriving in this country. And Pam, we'll get to speak with her. She's on Pam working with young children with disabilities and teaching them leadership and team building and giving them hope and a bright future, a bright career path that they can take on them. Skip, leading, amplifying truth, being able to document and bring forward the stories and bring documentaries together that really put a positive note on where this country, we're the greatest country in the world. And now to lift this up and have Skip showcase that and bring resources. Pete is working with single parents. An amazing thing Pete's doing. Now going into Key West and helping the single parents that are down there that are lost. And Derek, if you can see more, my wheel won't quit turning. But I saw so many on that I just wanted to highlight and let you guys know this is the group that is part of the Positive Action Coalition. And their missions are so strong. They just stepped up and said, like Tim, our first conversations, Tim's one of our mastermind students. He's a purpose pioneer that helped lead the way. And he now has over $2 million of real estate donated in a very short time. He's doing a transitional living center for veterans. He already has 2 houses that have veterans in it, thriving. He told me last week he got the van donated, and one of the veterans got his first job in years and is now going to work and living a life. Those are all the folks that are part of the Positive Action Coalition. So you guys join us, be part of this. The bigger the coalition, the more impact. When I meet with students, I met last week with a group in Florida, and I can't help but feel like an evangelist, like we've got to get this message out. I met with a group of grandparents, and they're raising their grandkids. They thought they'd be living the life and retiring and being a grandparent. But now they're a parent to their grandkids, and they're watching their kids suffer. And it's with the opioid crisis, the epidemic. 2 of the grandparents I talked to, one of them, their daughter was All-American, straight-A student, student council, went to college, played sports, and got injured and got on painkillers, because of the injury. And had now ended up in and out of rehab, can't hold a job down. A bright kid that did nothing wrong, but listened to what the medical model was saying, take these pills, get rid of the pain, and got addicted. Guys, it's huge. It's a crisis. Another one of our mastermind students, 4 of their friends and colleagues and friends' child have committed suicide or died with a drug overdose in the last 4 weeks. So when I seem fired up, I am fired up, and you guys need to be fired up. And you listen to our students talking, and they're just stepping out in faith, and they're loving life. Wearing the nonprofit hat gives you such a different reception than when you walk in with your for-profit, because you're actually out there making lots of money, and we teach nonprofits how to make a ton of money. And people on Facebook, it's so funny, I get comments like, oh, nonprofits should never make money. The more money you make, the more impact you make. The more money we can access from the VA, the more kind of a change, a paradigm shift. I had a mayor from Texas again call me this morning. Honest to goodness, I just got off the phone, that's why it's a little late. She has a VA hospital they're working on with telehealth. She applied for VASH vouchers. Again, that's our money. We did an agreement at the federal level with HUD and with the VA. And we put together vouchers like Section 8 that'll help folks get on their feet. It's an awesome economic development tool. Folks start becoming taxpayers again. It's incredible. We started Section 8 25, 30 years ago with HUD. So VASH vouchers is awesome for the investors. It's awesome for, and mainly the people, the veterans, right? Well, guess what? They won't grant any VASH vouchers. The mayor, they denied. She tried going to VA. It's the most complicated bureaucratical system that's out there. We have to change it. With disability, our own system, vocational rehab through Department of Ed, was the hardest system to access. It was we did more advocacy to make that system work and to change those policies that disempowered us. It's time to do that with the VA. So it's going to take all of us coming together to bring this country back and reshape the fabric to where we're living a life of abundance again. We're not working 3 jobs just to pay rent and get food for our kids and living their stressed out life. We've got to step up and make this happen. So Derek, if you can see some more of our students on there, my wheel keeps turning.
Oh no, you got everybody. Just a quick shout out again to, as you mentioned, Tom's joining us. Absolutely amazing. With their newly formed organization, the Entrepreneur Empowerment. And also just talk about some of our members on that you had mentioned, all part of our Positive Action Coalition. And again, they're just spread across the country and all working in unison in all the respective areas, addressing all different varying needs. And it's just it's an amazing effort, as you can see. Within our mastermind, of course, we have our individual nonprofits and things that we're working on, of course, but then now bring them all together, working in unison as a coalition. That's what's really amazing. And then at our Purpose Summit, another exciting thing is to really witness is have all of them together with those in the Power Purpose Network as well as the Positive Action Coalition all together at the event. It's going to be just powerful. So we're just going to continue just asking all of you to follow along with us and pay attention to what we're doing. Also help get the word, raise awareness with us because we're really onto something special here.
And you guys, some of the things like, okay, starting in Houston, because that's where we started, because the other things hadn't happened yet with a lot of our students that lead nonprofits are in Houston. And so what happened in that first couple of weeks, bringing in the for-profits, Tim Mai, amazing real estate investor with a business mind like none other and a heart that's bigger than his body and a smile that lights up the world. And Tim's from Houston. And so Tim joining us and saying, okay, so what do we need? Well, they need rebuilding things like sheetrock, paint, tape. Each week it would be a different thing. At first it was like the dehumidifier, the box fans, and then it was the mold detection and the mold removal, some devices that one of our students, Cindy in Atlanta, talked to a gentleman who had them who was willing to donate some. Then we have troops on the ground, like a lot of church ministries that are there to do rehab, but they don't have the supplies. So where's the central location that they could all go? So Tim coordinated the donation of a warehouse. So as states like New Mexico is putting together a relief effort, we know where to navigate, folks. Here's the warehouse, here's where we need to go, and then we have all the ministries on the ground that are doing the rehab. They can now go to one location and get the supplies. It's things like that all around the country we can come together and help those in devastated areas. We have a trucking company from the Midwest that's willing to go and gather up things and then take it to that warehouse. That's the power of the coalition, Derek, coming together and bringing those resources. And another, I saw, because my wheel's turning, Betty, I can't get it, but I saw Betty's with us. Betty's also one of our Purpose Pioneers with the Positive Action Coalition. Betty lives up in Washington State. And again, she's still coming together like Pam with being part of the coalition so we grow this big. So Derek, I see Pam Earl. You want to bring Pam on?
Yes. Let's now go around the room. Let's talk with some of our members of our Positive Action Coalition. Let's start with Pam. Hello, Pam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great. Thanks. Ah, there she is. Hi, Pam.
Hi there.
What
would you like to know?
Are we rocking the 12th man jersey again today? It looks like it.
Yeah.
I think I see the ring.
It's where we live. It's Blue Friday every Friday.
Blue Friday, Seattle Seahawks. Go Hawks.
That's right.
Absolutely. You bet. Well, Pam, also something else I'd love, because we talked about this at our last mastermind meeting in Albuquerque with our coalition. We're having a big push for Giving Tuesday. And maybe you know Giving Tuesday now is a movement. It's a national day of giving that follows Black Friday and Cyber Monday this year on November 28th. And we have our Purpose Pioneers, our members of our coalition actually out there really working towards that day as a pre-launch now for the actual giving day itself on
That's
Giving
right.
Day. And then that's going to be a springboard for them to all the way to the end of the year for their end of year giving fundraising efforts.
That's right.
So Pam, let's just share with the group a little more about what you're working on up there.
So every couple of days, I send out a Facebook post having to do with Giving Tuesday, kind of getting people that I know primed, and then my friends will kind of send forward those over to their circle of friends. And what we're going to do is is have my horse, my black thoroughbred Chip, all dressed up in his red Santa hat and his red saddle pad, and all decked out with a collar around his neck that's poinsettias or what have you, and then inviting people to have their families come and have their pictures taken with Chip, who is going to be one of the horses that's carrying these children around with disabilities, so that they can have their pictures taken with one of these helper horses, right? And who's a horse that does good deeds for people who are just not as fit and able quite yet as we are, but of course we're getting him to that point. And I've also got another friend who's willing to sit and do face painting with the kids if they want to, and then there are several horses around to offer all of the kids free horseback rides if they want, the adults if they want. So it should be a pretty busy day on Giving Tuesday.
Excellent. So tell us, Pam, just a little bit more in depth about kind of this equestrian program you're building with your nonprofit.
So I have a couple of friends who are very gifted in special education and physical therapy. And so each kid will have a specific therapy program developed for him or her and his or her disability, to where they are able to set specific goals, where they want to be in 6 months or where they want to be in a year, what they want to be able to do. And then after that, like say maybe after a year, the older ones, everybody's gotten to know each other and what have you, the older ones kind of take the little ones in tow and help them with their learning and adaptation. And after that, we'll put them to work if they want to, doing different things on the ranch, whatever they have an interest in doing, whether it be, carpentry or maintenance or just looking after the horses, whatever it is. And after that, their next goal will be to seek employment outside of the ranch and in their communities, and we'll help them do that as well.
Awesome. Love it. I loved how also she was, again, showing you guys also a lot of the key outcomes and benefits of this program. Equestrian also working with horses, especially for some of these at-risk children, and how beneficial that can be for them.
They really, really love it. And just seeing the excited looks on their faces when they're actually on top of that saddle for the first time. They've gone beyond the grooming, they've gone beyond all the care, and they're actually climbing up into that saddle. There's just nothing else like that thrill.
Absolutely, especially with Sherry Watson here with Mom, practically grew up with horses and still to this day has, I can't tell you how many great stories she has about those special relationships she had with those wonderful animals.
Well, horses are so relational. They seem to know innately, intuitively, that there is something different about this child, and so they're so gentle and tender about how they bend their necks down and sniff the kids' hands or their little face, or just snuffle and blow in their hair. It's just too adorable, and they'll follow them around the property and so gentle, so carefully stepping. It's just too cute.
And you guys, I have to throw this in, Pam, too. I always talk about the economics, and we set up the first equestrian center in Colorado when I moved back, and we worked with kids with disabilities, and we got Medicaid to fund it because they were seeing such a difference in the impact in their balance, and when they get kids with cerebral palsy, kids in wheelchairs, just learning how to balance, sitting on the horse, being able to socialize, look. And so it made sense economically to fund some of that versus sit in a inpatient setting and do leg lifts for an hour and pay 10 times more. And I mean, that's needed too. But it was just such a different way of bringing really healing and wellness and the difference. And then we did an equestrian center in Farmington, Derek, with the, this gentleman, just passion was all about kids. And he really had a heart for kids who were in juvenile justice or kids that had been in trouble, kids that didn't have a lot of support at home. And so we did an equestrian center for at-risk kids. It was mind-blowing to see the kind of difference with the kids learning responsibility and feeding and brushing them afterwards and working together to get their halters on. And so again, you guys, it's just shifting. It's the paradigm of getting us out of the medical model all the way and into more of a health and wellness and healing that brings a different set of solutions. So Pam, what you're doing is just so needed. And in the economic, I'm going to keep bringing that to you guys, because when I read all these things about nonprofits shouldn't make money and when we our nonprofit led with Medicaid and the personal care option, and we said, why do people have to be in nursing homes? Why did these young kids lay in bed of pee and atrophy, and we're paying $450,000 a year? Why can't they? That's our money. Why can't they live at home and have their mom be their attendant and have her paid and let them live a quality of life? We went in with the economics, because the first time when we talked about, oh, it's going to make them feel good and they're going to do better, it was kind of that pat on the head, yeah, but I'm done with state budget deficits. When we learned to come in with a solution that has an economic impact on it, and the governor was from the business world, and he said, yeah, that makes sense. Why are we spending 90% of our Medicaid dollars on institutions, on nursing homes, the warehouse people at 10 times or 100 times the cost to be in the community? So we started moving folks out. And yes, I did. I'm a business. I'm a corporation. Yes, I made money. Yes, I got paid a salary, because I'm building my business in the nonprofit instead of a for-profit. I could have built a home health care in the for-profit and done what everyone else did. We, as a nonprofit, we said, okay, state, we'll be the fiscal agent. We'll help people with the payroll. I want you guys to hear this. This is what Pam and all of our students are bringing. We got 200 people out of nursing homes in 6 months. We made $50,000 a month, passive residual income each month. People now were living and paying taxes and had a job. We created 400 jobs for the 200 people. They hired them. They did all that. And within a year, it was announced New Mexico was the first state in the country that had a positive Medicaid budget. We took a solution that you would do in the business community, and we brought it to the government, to the systems that are so broken. So that's what this is about. The nonprofits are the social conscience of this country. That's our tax dollars. Medicaid, that's our money. And we have a right to say, why spend $500,000 on this kid to lay there and not let him go home? And now he's at home with his mom being paid a salary. She's off of welfare. She's a taxpayer. And he's living a beautiful life compared to laying in the bed of pee all the time. So I'm going to keep bringing that home, because you guys, you all have a purpose. You all have a story. You all have it. Everybody wants to make a difference. Everybody wants to help. This is your opportunity to help. Join Positive Action Coalition. Stay connected with Positive Action Platform. Be a part of our Purpose Summit. just come and join, and together, let's bring this country to new heights.
Well, and to back it up, real quick, just to talk about the historical context with your equestrian center you led in Colorado, what Pam's doing now in the state of Washington. Also, now you started a very big lawyers, right? The versus Doctors charity basketball game that's very popular now in like its 25th year or something like that. So to talk about that, now today we have one of our Purpose Pioneers in our mastermind, Ken Shaw, with us, who has a similar announcement on that very front. So Ken, we're just so excited to hear what's the big announcement with what you have for your Giving Tuesday project.
Thanks, and hi, Derek and Sherry and everybody. So it's been a little bit like herding cats up until now. But yesterday I got the confirmation that the police department and the fire department have bought in. We are going to have a charity fundraiser basketball game on Giving Tuesday.
Hey, while you're waiting on Ken,
did you hear? Did you hear?
Is Ken here?
Yeah. Did you hear his announcement?
No, I can't hear.
He just got the confirmation from the police and fire department in Santa Fe that they will be doing a charity basketball game.
Yay!
On Giving Tuesdays. Congratulations, Ken, for putting that together. I know you've been working on that for a good while now, but wow, what an amazing Giving Tuesday. We talk about as a strategy in our mastermind with the Purpose Pioneers here on an event, an event, whether it's online, offline, or both, but an event on Giving Tuesday itself on the 28th, and Ken has put together a charity basketball game between the police department and the fire department to raise funds. So
that's amazing. No, I don't know if anybody heard that, Derek, because I couldn't hear it. So that's great.
Yeah, we heard it loud and clear.
Oh man, Ken, you're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah, so
and you can involve the whole community and the revenue streams again for the nonprofit. You guys, we produced and can produce like a program, you know, at the basketball games that give out a program, and we sold ads in the program, and we made tons of money because the city donated the printing. So go to the city of Santa Fe, get them to print the brochure, the program, and then start selling ads. Man, people love to buy ads and next thing you know. So there's so many revenue. The silent auction you can do, you know, have community business leaders donate things and have it out front, the silent auction. And then at halftime, we had brought because we did the doctor's lawyers, we brought in the Pink Ladies, and they raffled out cakes and pies. One of the pies raffled for like $2,000 because they were competing with each other. So many revenue streams, Ken, and all of you guys.
Tracy gave me a whole bunch
something
of
like this. When Derek talks about Giving Tuesday, we have, you know, about Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Well, Giving Tuesday is pretty new, and Derek showed us with our last mastermind meeting. Last year, it raised like 400%, raised $200 million in one day. And so Derek's been leading our mastermind students on the Giving Tuesday campaign. And Derek, I get to work individually, one-on-one. You do the training on the classes and the webinars, and then I get to meet with them one-on-one. And Tim, our student, said, because we said, okay, go into the mayor. Let's get the mayor proclamations, proclaim Tuesday as Giving Tuesday Day for all the nonprofits. And you know, so he went to his mayor, and the next day when I was talking to him, he goes, he almost fell out of his chair, getting to his secretary saying, get this on city council meeting so that we can proclaim that Tuesday is Giving Tuesday. So it makes the mayors now part of it. It brings visibility to a nonprofit. So it's not just about a fundraiser. There's so many ways to heighten what we're doing. Tim and I on the connecting visit. I'm so excited. I'm going to go and spend time. We're going to just paint the town purple. We're going to go to the state capitol. We're going to meet with state agencies. But on Giving Tuesday, we're having a legislative meeting. We're bringing in the legislative delegation to come together, to look at what we're doing, help us open doors for the state agencies, for the VA. It's amazing. So, Derek, I'm so happy you brought up Giving Tuesday. It's such a great way, even though you don't have a nonprofit yet, get with us. We can get that nonprofit set up within a week. Man, what a great way to launch your nonprofit. And those of you that have nonprofits, you know how big we're going on this one.
Oh, absolutely. And Ken, what were you saying again about Tracy?
He gave me an even longer list than Jerry just did. Those ideas and some more. So we're going to make this a big deal. And the mayor has been out of town, but we're virtually certain that he's going to jump in big time with a proclamation and a photo op. And Tracy also suggested that we get
how come I can't hear him?
Oh, I'll reiterate it to you. Just sit tight. Go ahead, Ken.
Tracy suggested that we get a celebrity referee and some other things. So, yeah, we're going to do it up big.
Oh, that's wonderful. Talking about a mayoral proclamation, a photo op, and absolutely, what a great idea by Papa Watson here, Tracy Watson, Dad, it's Power Purpose, with a celebrity referee, because you know that in Santa Fe, especially, whether local or with the film and television industry being really big here in New Mexico, so that's a great idea to have a celebrity referee for the game. That's just I know, again, you conceptualized it at the mastermind, and you followed through with it, and you guys I just love you, Tim, Skip, so many of you that are on with us now. It's just so great to see this is just conceptualized right in that group setting, then taking that next step on just implementing it, executing it, following through, and look what's manifested here. It's just amazing to see with all of you, our Purpose Pioneers here, on first talking about that celebrity basketball or the basketball game and fire and police, and now it's talking about a celebrity referee and the mayoral proclamation, the mayor stepping by for a photo op. Amazing. Just amazing accomplishments, Ken. I can't wait for you. Got lots of pictures and videos. We're going to want to see that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Ken. And we look forward. We'll be talking on our Mastermind Mondays again. So I'd love to talk more about that on Monday with the rest of the group. I know you've been working on that for a few weeks now. So congratulations once again. Yeah, that's a big thumbs up. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us, Ken. Oh, man, that is awesome. Okay, well, we also have, let's see if we can get him. He's always a man on the go. Let's see if we can talk with Richard, also one of our Purpose Pioneers, member of our Positive Action Coalition. There he is on the go. All right.
There we go. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you, Richard? How you doing?
Yeah, doing good. I think I will be there on at the summit. I'm going to come in Saturday afternoon, so I'll get to see you guys here in a couple of weeks. So,
all right.
I was going to give you a little bit of an update. My wife was out with a friend of hers having lunch, and she was talking to her about what we're doing, and her friend was very excited about it and wanted to help out right off the bat. And then they met another couple, I think, that was there, or colleagues or something. But they mentioned, they asked, the Woodlands is like a big area around where we live, and asked if Sarah knew of, I forget the lady's name, but she was big in the society circles and has a nonprofit of her own, I think, that she started from scratch, and it just kind of blew up and it's just going nuts. So apparently she writes some articles with some of the local papers and or a magazine or something like that. So I'm gonna have Sarah try to connect with her and let her know what we're doing and see if we can get some exposure at least through that route right now. So Sarah's out there making some things happen.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, absolutely. Connect, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is excellent. Okay. And also, we've been talking a lot on our, again, there's just kind of the Giving Tuesdays coming up. And we're not going to be here next week, guys, because we have our big summit in Albuquerque. But it's coming up here pretty quick in the next few weeks for Giving Tuesday. So just real quick, Richard, I'd love to share. We talked about at our mastermind in Albuquerque a few weeks ago about what you guys are thinking for your big event for Giving Tuesday on the 28th of next month.
Well, I'm thinking that an auction of some type, I don't have any more details, but an auction of some type, Sarah, with some of the connections that she has, I think we're going to see about having some donated items that we can use for either a live auction or an online auction.
Yes.
Something along those is what we're thinking about doing.
Love that too, you guys. So you guys can see all the events that are happening. We have like a day like at the equestrian center with the children and horses. We have a one event on Giving Tuesday that's going to be a police versus fire department basketball game, and now we have also an auction, whether online, offline, like silent auction, or both combined together to raise funds on that day. It's all geared towards giving. It's a National Day of Giving now, you guys. It's 5 years old, but it's just becoming just so big. You just cannot ignore it anymore. You have to be a part of it. It's a nonprofit. It's become just that it's a movement. So just participating in any capacity in that day, and what we're teaching our Purpose Pioneers and they're implementing is that not just having a standalone campaign for the day. No, it's a springboard. It's a launch for your entire end of year giving season. Okay, so not just another great idea about how to raise funds doing an auction, whether it be an online based, perhaps offline, or the combination of the two. So excellent, Richard. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see you next week. We're like, 8 days we get to see you again, Richard. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Here, I'm saying a couple of weeks. It is just a few days away. Wow.
I know. Well, keep up the great work, and we can't wait to see you in Albuquerque next week.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Absolutely.
Likewise, Richard. Thank you so much.
See you soon.
Okay, everyone. Well, that just about concludes Purpose Fridays with Sherry Watson and the Positive Action Coalition. Once again, Derek Watson, co-founder of the Power of Purpose and the Positive Action Coalition. Just a special shout out. I know he's a shout out with Mr. Skip Thomas out there, who will also be joining us. And I just love to more talk with him before we go about just everything that's going on. So much is happening, including the summit coming up. Just recently, his nonprofit established. We got EIN, we got bank account. We are just blazing with his nonprofit.
Hi, Derek. I'm sitting here going through the 1023 form and trying to fill it out and get it all finally submitted. So I'm in the early stages of getting the nonprofit set up, but anyway, it's getting there. And then the projects, I'll be out there, of course, in Albuquerque, working with right now. Got my plate pretty full with moving. We've got our studio here that's with some other people that are tied into some other nonprofit organizations, and we're using it as a filming recording location here in Mountain View, Arkansas. And then I've got a small little office in town I'm moving into. As I'm sitting here in my motorhome, which is where my editing and all is on the road. I've gone from Southern California to Miami, Florida, working on projects, and currently working with some youth programs with music with the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra that provides youth, gets them involved in music and so forth, and the opiate crisis, working with a group that's got a recovery center out in Arizona. So a lot going on, and then just digging through all the paperwork. You guys have got a nice little checklist, and I'm still working through it. And then I open up the 1023, and I'm actually going through about half of it right now. So the part of it that is not very much fun. I'd rather be producing video.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you're an award-winning filmmaker, I think I would too. Absolutely. And that just gets to show you guys at the summit, people of Skip's caliber and talent to be there. And just everyone that's going to be there rubbing shoulders with it's that are all like-minded, like-hearted. It's just going to be an amazing event, and can't wait to see their Skip, and so much more to come. Skip, of course, is now essentially with us a partner and a co-founder essentially of the Positive Action platform, which is really going to be about showcasing and telling the story through a medium like the internet to an online audience about all these amazing projects. Some of them you just heard about some of these projects across the country. That's what we're doing with the platform and using media to get that out there in a bigger way. And that's going to be part of the summit as well, is capturing this on media, getting it out to the world in a larger way, but all coming together for making a positive impact for the betterment of our world. That's exactly what we're all about. So Skip, thank you so much as always. And I can't wait to see you next week as well. All of you that are coming next week, we want it to be like tomorrow, like right now, let's go. Let's get you guys here. We love spending time with everyone that comes. So can't wait to see you next week, Skip. Thank you so much.
Likewise to you and Sherry.
Okay, well, you guys, thank you again so much. And of course, Mom, Sherry Watson, as always, another great Purpose Friday. And again, we will not be broadcasting this week. We will be live at the Purpose Summit, our first annual Purpose Summit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We are at capacity, you guys, but if you want to check it out just to see what it's all about, purposesummit2017.com, or we will be live streaming at purposesummit2017.com/live stream. Check your chat. We sent the links there. We'd love for you guys to check that out. And those of you that are coming, can't wait to see you next week. It's finally here. The time is here. After months and months, we are on the threshold of being there. It's going to be an amazing event, everyone. It's going to be an amazing event. Cannot wait to see all of you there. All right, everyone. Well, on behalf of Sherry Watson, myself, and the Power of Purpose, thank you so much for joining us once again. We will see you in 2 weeks from today. We'll be live at the Purpose Summit, and let's have a great weekend and have a fun, safe Halloween. Take the kiddos out. Let them eat too much candy, okay? And
unless you're a grandparent.
all right. And Mom, of course, Sherry Watson, thank you so much for being here and doing what you're doing with this and leading our coalition.
It's an honor and a privilege, and together we are bringing change, you guys. So thank you, everybody. Ginger, I see so many of you on here as our Purpose Pioneers. Thank you so much for taking that step forward, and congratulations. You're going into a journey of a lifetime that's going to be so much fun. So Derek, along with that, I got to tell everyone, have fun this week and live with purpose, and it just brings a joy and a deep set of funness where you can just move forward. So have fun.
Absolutely. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing, right? Another Sherryism quote. So,
yeah.
All right, everyone. If you're coming to the summit, we'll see you there. Can we see you? And we'll see you back here in 2 weeks on Purpose Fridays with Sherry Watson and the Positive Action Coalition. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.